Hey fellow Vault Dwellers, it's Angry Turtle, and today I have for you new updated full guide for the Auto Axe, and the reason for that is it is now the best boss killer in the game. Assuming you are watching this video when Season 18 already started, if you are watching it early, it will be the best boss killer from Tuesday when Season 18 drops. And now, why is that and what has happened? Basically, things have changed. To put a long story short, VATS criticals are no longer essential, bosses have way more health and resistance, but lost all the damage mitigation, which pushed melee approach much higher than it used to be. So that's long story short, and now to the details about Auto Axe. So first, if you don't know where to obtain one, you go to White Spring Resort and exactly White Spring Refuge, and there you can purchase it from Giuseppe with stamps, as well as its modifications. There is several modifications for this weapon. First, if you need to craft it, additional way to obtain it is Atom Shop. It is actually available with atoms, so everyone really can have it. Auto Axe can be crafted from level 20 to level 50. Not very expensive to craft. It crafts as non-legendary, but you can modify it and make it legendary. So for example, this one. The best possible setup and the most universal is Vampire, Heavy Hitters, which is more power attack damage, and Strength. That is the best possible roll. And the secondary I would recommend if you want something with a little bit more kick, anti-armor, power attack damage, plus 3 strength. So those are your two main options. Now, about modifications. If you have something else, it will still rock. Even non-legendary Auto Axe will kick almost everything. The modifications, there is not too many. Burning offers relatively low damage, but fire damage, so you can use friendly fire with it, but I would not go for that, as you can just have secondary Medic's weapon for healing friendlies. Yes, Medic's was changed. If you are not aware, Medic's is good. Then Electrified, which is my recommendation. It's pure raw damage, and that's what you would like from the Auto Axe. No mod is not really the best option, although not far behind for other, but not the best. I would recommend Electrified. And Poisoned, it is a cool option, almost the same damage, plus extra dot. Unfortunately, you don't really rely on dot with this type of a weapon, and everything you touch is basically dead, so there is like no purpose, and dot do not stack with itself. So it's almost invisible amount of dot, even though it looks great on paper. And lastly, the Turbo mod, the one that you never want to take. All it does, it reduces your damage output because it's bugged. Will it be ever fixed? I don't know. Currently just reduce your damage output, so you don't want to do that. It's worse than no mod. And that's it about the modifications. Of course, this weapon pairs well if you have a proper gear, so unyielding with extra strength, or if you go for power armor and then put extra strength on the second star. And yes, I have everything perfect in here crafted on the custom world, so I could do a proper testing as well as the boss test, as you probably want to see how it performs on the boss, so boss test as well. On regular enemies, I think I will skip it. I will skip the showcase, because in case of regular enemies, they just die when you touch them, so that's about it. So check the boss fight and keep in mind that solo, so the damage will be higher on a team. Just one quick tip, if you are new to Auto Axe and automatic melee weapons before we start boss fight, if you attack and you get staggered, there is this bug that you try to attack again, it will spin but it will do no damage. How to work around it? Wherever you get staggered, every time you see that you get staggered, press the block, then attack. And it will work. So that's the quick fix. And now the boss fight. Keep in mind that in case of actual boss fight, I would be with teammates, so there would be taking one for the team, and my damage would be significantly higher. Additionally, of course, perks like Strength in Numbers improve your damage with mutations and extra special. So on a team, this same scenario, I will have about 50 to 60% damage overall more. So that's significant difference, but we'll be focusing here not on killing air as fast as possible, but on showcasing the 4 main scenarios and how well Auto Axe performs. So 4 main scenarios, of course, Vampire Auto Axe versus Anti-Armor and Power Armor versus No Power Armor. Both sets are perfect with extra strength and everything. So let's start. There is Air Williams, and I'm starting with my Vampire Auto Axe Pepper Shake, I wanted to say. Vampire Auto Axe, and this is how well Air Williams is smelting solo versus this Auto Axe. Let's do a little bit more. Luckily, Air has a long health bar, so we can test on him, and that's how fast regular Wendigo is dying. Look at those damage. Every time I got staggered, I need to block. Look when I hit the head. If I hit the head, like, you can see the health bar melting. And yeah, that's a tough boss. That's the very tough boss. Now, let's change for the anti-armor. Oh. Yeah, anti-armor, I will not have healing. As you can see, the damage is higher, and I should probably show you resistances as well, and I will do that. So damage is higher. Is it worth it? It's up to you. Is it worth to go for anti-armor? It's different than it used to be, as now bosses have significantly more armor. So I will show you the armor on the boss. It's crazy high. Crazy high resistance on the boss. So that's 200, and that's with anti-armor weapon and incisor included. If I switch to Vampire, his resistances go up to 400. So that's 400. If I would switch to other weapons, so incisor doesn't work, this is a total resistance close to 2000. So it is a significant amount of resistance on bosses. So anti-armor may be more beneficial than it used to be. Okay, now the Vampire and no power armor. Hopefully I will not die instantly, we'll see. If I can spin my Vampire, I will be fine. Let's remove those fella. And now look at that. Nope. Okay, that's the problem. Slight issue here if I want to go no power armor. I'm not sufficiently tanky. So that can be a little bit of an issue. Let's return there and try to drop health. Okay, I'm returning. Already staggered. Let's see if we can get a better sample and not die. So that's the damage. The damage is really solid. Is it worth to go without power armor? I'm not sure. You can tell me, is it worth it to go without power armor or not? And now we need to test anti-armor, which would be a little bit harder to survive while testing. Those Wendigos are not kidding in here. And Air Aider, okay, that would be tough. So anti-armor, you can see the downside of anti-armor, especially solo. Okay, let's try again if I can get a sample for you. Which is not as easy as I would like it to be. Spam the Stimpak. Spam the Stimpak. Get rid of some of those Wendigos. Nope. More Stim. Yeah, that's more difficult. Much more difficult. No power armor and anti-armor. So you need to be the judge. If that's worth it. And fear now. I was staggered, so I needed to block. That's a downside. Okay. Let me, please. Oh, now you can see the damage. Now you can see the damage. Okay, that was the sample. I'm not doing anti-armor anymore. In my opinion, not worth it for a little bit more damage unless you are in power armor with sufficient protection. And let me do one more for you. So how it will perform full health. Full health is not a huge difference, to be honest. Now, given the fact that power armor can have total of plus 10 strength on second star, because that was improved. Look at that. Okay, anti-armor. You can see full health. I'm melting air, and in case of full health, I can easily use anti-armor. So there is no risk I will really die. Like, the risk is gone, so anti-armor for full health? I would say absolutely. And of course, I am running food for the boss fight, so I am boosted. Not bubbleheads or magazines, though. No bubbleheads or magazines. I should probably show quickly a tab if you want to see what I'm running. That's the food that I'm running at this moment. No magazines, no bubbleheads, so only normal food. And I'm solo. And now what would be the difference if anti-armor versus vampire on full health? So that's anti-armor. Even on full health, it is melting air. You can see it. That's solo, so it can go only better, not worse. Now, anti-vampire. So now the vampire, for the comparison, full health vampire, it's still melting air. It's slower. You can see the difference. It is a little bit slower. On full health, I would say anti-armor may be justified more. In case of low health, and especially unyielding armor, I would only go with a vampire, as the risk of death is just not worth it. It's not worth it. And that will be enough testing. That's the sample for you. I'm not even killing him, I'm on the custom world. That will be everything for this particular video. I hope you enjoy it. And that's the new #1 boss killer of 2024, Auto Axe. And now, as always, thank you for watching, and see you all in the next one.